Do you want to start a blog? In this video, I'm sharing what I have spent years researching and discovering and why you need to know that blogging is a broke industry. I started my blog, Making Good Choices, back in 2009 when it was like the heyday of blogging. I got into it because I wanted to write and share some recipes, have an outlet, maybe make some ad revenue, and maybe even get some free sneakers. And this was when the blogging scene was like best practice to blog 3 times a day, share everything you were eating, and just wait until someone publishes a blog. Be the first to comment so you can get some traffic. But I have to tell you, those blogging days are over. They are gone. Yet I see so many struggling bloggers still operating in this model from over 10 years ago. I want you to imagine with me for a second. Imagine if you were still using a phone or a computer from 10 years ago. And I want you to imagine, what if you didn't update any of those operating systems? How do you think that phone would run? Would it even be like operational at all? You can imagine it would be operating at like a snail's pace, and it wouldn't be able to do even a fourth of what we can do with the new iPhones now. Yet this is how so many struggling bloggers are still running their business or their hobby, off of models that worked 10 years ago, even though it's keeping them stagnant, it's keeping them stuck, or worse, it's basically making them move backwards because they are spending so much time for so little results. I see bloggers and influencers who are working 50 plus hours a week with little to no results or anything to show for it for years. And they keep it up for the promise of sweet success in the future, or even just to hit the notorious 10K Instagram followers just so they can get that swipe up feature. And then just so one day they can hit ad revenues that may pay some bills. Now, if you're like the students that I work with, at first I know that this may be a reality check and this may hit you in the gut. But the good news is, once you realize what you're doing doesn't work, you can shine a light on it and start to make the changes that need to be made. Now, this does not mean throw all your dreams out the window. It just means simply it's time to upgrade your operating system. So let's look at right now how you are operating right now. If you've been stuck in creating more and more content, if you've been feeling like I just don't have enough time to get more followers, to one day make ad revenue and one day have sponsorships, that is being stuck waiting for the future. And you're using a model that's actually outdated, broken, and dead. But there is good news here. The good news is there's ways to breathe life into what you're doing, so you can actually return to why you started with this all in the first place. And you can actually make changes to move forward. So let's think back to that why. Why did you actually start this? Was it to create some extra income? Was it to help people? Or maybe it was for both. Great. I want you to write that down, because this is your fuel, whether it's to make money or to help people or both, which is why most of us started. Whatever your reason for starting, let's return to that and let's actually let that guide you. I know at the beginning I said blogging is a broke industry, but it actually doesn't have to be. Blogging, sitting on the content treadmill and working for no pay for years like it's 2006, that is what is broken. That is what is dead. But I want you to look at the past 4 months. Our whole world has changed. Look at how quickly industries and businesses are actually adapting. It may seem small, but in reality, these are huge shifts. Restaurants are shifting to outdoor seating. Barbers are starting to do appointment only, and doctors are doing more telethemed calls. The whole world is shifting actually online, and that's a great thing. But like these other industries, we have to make changes. Blogging as a business can work, but you have to start with a major system update. So how do you actually update your system? 3 ways. First, You have to decide what your goals are. If you want to do this as a hobby, that is awesome. That is your choice. You don't have to make any changes. But if you're serious about running a business, businesses need money to run. So set your first revenue goals. And this may be the first time you've done it, but that's okay. We have to start somewhere. Second, if you're serious about growing your business, if you're like most, you're going to have to stop spending all of your time on audience growth and content. What you focus on grows, so it's time to actually set up a revenue container. Pick a way to get paid so you actually have a way to be paid and focus on growing that. Third, if you've been creating commodity style content, that's the how-to style content that everyone and anyone can create, you probably realize by now that there are hundreds and thousands of influencers doing this. The commodity content industry is beyond saturated. Create content that actually influences people, sets you apart as an authority, and shows you as the expert. If you've been struggling as a blogger, you're ready to break out of that cycle. It's time for you to upgrade your operating system and step into the business owner that you've been waiting to be.